Good evening. So today we're going to make some sweet potato flatbreads. And the first thing you're going to need to do is take a couple of sweet potatoes and you want to punch some holes in them. And I've already done this part. And then you want to microwave them. If they're this size, I've got two today, which is going to be about a cup. About 4 minutes each if they're small to medium size. So what you want to do is you want to take these and you can peel them. Or I always peel them. You don't have to peel them, but I usually peel them and just take the insides out. Now, if you don't want to peel them, you don't have to, but again, you want to wash them really good if you're not going to peel them. And just kind of scrape these out. Okay, so this is roughly a cup of sweet potato right here. And you can use whatever kind of flour you want to with this. You can use an almond flour. You can use chickpea flour. It doesn't really matter, but I'm adding to this now a cup of flour. And for tonight, I'm using just some basic self-rising flour because you can use all-purpose flour for this if you want to as well. But I want to have just a little bit of a rise to it, not much, but just a touch. So I'm going to use some self-rising flour. And to mix it, I'm just going to take my potato masher and just mash it all together. And we're going to make us a dough. And this is it right here. 2 ingredients. And we're going to make us a nice soft dough with these potatoes and this flour. And like I said, if you're gluten intolerant or if you don't want to have if you want to use a different kind of flour, you can use rice flour. Any kind of flour works with this. It's just simple 2 ingredients. And if you want it to rise a little bit, add some baking powder. If you don't want it to, and you just want a regular flatbread like a tortilla, then all you need to do is just simply take the flour that you use of your choice, just a plain flour, and add it in with the sweet potato. And after you get it broken up good, get it mixed with your potato masher, then you want to just mix it in the bowl until you get this nice dough. And you'll make a nice soft dough. And if it is too wet, you can always add more flour if you need to make it into a softer dough. And I'm going to knead it just a little bit here, not a whole lot. Just until it's not sticky. So now that we've got our dough nice and soft, I'm going to make a little log here. Just roll it out into a nice little log. Shape it a bit. And we're going to make us a few little balls with this. So you just want to take a knife, and remember, if the knife is sharp, be careful. Okay, there's like 4 little balls here. And you're just going to take and make little round balls by just rolling it in your hands like this. And then we're just going to let these set for about 5 minutes. And then you can either roll these out, or you can use a pan, which is what I'm going to do. All you do is set it in here. You can use wax paper if you want to put it between wax paper. And just take the bottom of a clean pan, and then we're just going to press it straight down and make it nice and flat. Okay, and it kind of stuck to the bottom of the pan, so here we have there is what you're looking for when we get this done. You should have this shape. And now I've had a cast iron skillet sitting on the stove. It's on medium-low heat, and you want it to be hot, so I've had this preheating for quite a bit, and we're just going to lay this right into the pan. And a couple things while we're letting this cook. This is not a grease pan, so I didn't put any oil in there. If you want to use oil, you can use a non-stick pan to do this as well. You can also use canned sweet potatoes if you don't have fresh sweet potatoes. Just make sure you drain them well. If you want a naan-like bread, then you can add, instead of just, you need to add a little bit more flour in there, and you would need to add about a 1/4 cup of water with a teaspoon of yeast dissolved in it. But basically you're doing ratios of 1 to 1. So if you want to do more, double this recipe, then you would use, about 2 cups of the sweet potato and then 2 cups of flour. And that's just, it's a very simple recipe. And you can add seasonings to it if you want to. You can add salt to it. You can add, whatever your favorites are. If you want to put some cracked pepper in there, some rosemary, anything that you think goes well with sweet potato, you can put in these. It's very versatile. So it's your recipe. Do what you want to do. So it looks like it's about ready for us to flip. So I'm going to flip, and you see how it's browned up on the other side. It's getting nice and crispy. And I use keep these safe. You can keep these soft by putting them in gallon-sized bags. You can use paper towels between them, or you can use old t-shirts. Just tear them into cloth strips, and about the size that you need for a gallon-sized bag. Place those between them, and that'll help to keep them soft and keep them from drying out while you store them. And you don't want to put them in there hot because they're going to get condensation. So you don't let them cool before you put them in a storage bag. You don't want to let them burn, but you do want to make sure that when you see them steaming up, then you want it to take it out of the pan. And you can use this as a pizza crust. You can use it for a flatbread sandwich. You can use it as tortilla, whatever it is that you want to do. And I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video today on how to make sweet potato flatbreads.